Thanks for joining us on Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged, where the message is always truthful, authentic, and inspiring. For more information on Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com. Now your hosts, Bobbye and Tonilee.
Hello, welcome to Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. My name is Bobbye Brooks.
And I'm Tonilee Adamson.
Glad you could join us for the show today. If you're listening to K-Praise 1210 a.m., we're on every day at 10 a.m. Also, join us online anytime you want at dailydisciples.org. Click the Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged banner and watch us at our YouTube channel. So you can listen, watch, and we want you to join us in person. Saturday.
Online.
No,
on air, online, and on land.
On land, that's right. Saturday, January 30th at Point Loma Nazarene University.
It's an all-day women's event. It's our 11th annual women's event. And this year we're very excited because we have both Kimberly Hunt from 10 News and Bill Griffith.
Well, we have a lot to talk about on today's show because this show is dedicated to talking about the power of hope. And this event definitely means a lot to us. So sit back, enjoy the show. Again, if you're brand new to the program, visit us at dailydisciples.org. Sign up for daily devotions. Check out our Bible study that's going on right now called Life in the Spirit. It's never too late to join a Bible study. And you can actually visit us in person or get the videos for that as well. And
you know, it's funny, Bobbye,
going on.
We did Life in the Spirit. We haven't done that Bible study in so long. And then one of the churches that asked us to do the retreat this year, they said, we really want a retreat that's more Bible study than topical. And so I gave them a list of the Bible studies that we've written and that we do. And out of all of them, they picked Life in the Spirit.
Which is a
Isn't
topical
that cool?
study.
I know, I know. But, you know, I'm going to give them the verse to use.
Kind of funny,
but isn't that funny?
Yeah, it is. So anyway, like I said, dailydisciples.org, check all that stuff out. And today on the show, we do want to talk about this topic called hope and tell you about the Power of Hope Conference. First of all, ladies, this is a time for you here in San Diego. This is our community outreach. And outreach means that we want to reach out to the women around us, those who may not be going to church, those who are not involved, those who that maybe you've been praying for, who need to come to know Jesus,
or people who are struggling with walking with the Lord. We have a good friend right now who is struggling with her walk with the Lord. A terrible life tragedy happened, and she keeps saying, "Where is God? You know, I was praying for something and God hasn't answered my prayer and it's never going to be answered now." And she's right, it won't ever be answered, and she expected it to be. That type of person needs to be at this event because we're going to talk about the power of hope, not the power of hopeful prayer, but the power of hope, who is Jesus Christ. He is the same today, yesterday, and forever. And so it's not that we put our hope in our prayers. We put our hope in Jesus, knowing that He will take care of the beginning of the problem all the way to the resolution or the way He wants to answer that prayer.
So here's the details. The Power of Hope Conference is Saturday, January 30th. So it is coming up very, very soon. It is at Point Loma Nazarene University in Brown Chapel. So that's 3900 Loma Land Drive. Right there when you come into the campus, right there in the big auditorium. It's an incredible room. It's very comfortable. If you've never been to the campus, it's a room that, you know, it's very spacious. The seats are comfy. We're going to be there at 8 a.m. Doors will open at 8 o'clock. We're going to have hot coffee and some snacks for breakfast.
And I want to say another thing, because I know parking at times can be a challenge. We're going to have 2 different people driving around the campus picking you up to get to the front door, which is really nice.
That's right. So parking is free, and you want to get there early, and we highly encourage carpooling so that you can just, you know, get a group together and come on in.
Well, you get a discount too if you come as a group. You get a discount.
If you bring 5 or more, you get tickets for only $15. So tickets right now are on sale for $25 each. That includes lunch. So we're going to walk you through the whole event today on today's show. So I'm kind of starting at the beginning, TL, and going walking through. So doors are open at 8 o'clock. Definitely carpool, get there early. As TL said, we will have people assisting if you need help from, you know, lower parking lots up to the main chapel. We'll have help there. When you register, you can register online at dailydisciples.org, or you can call us at 800-992-0369. If you call and register, you save a couple of dollars off of the registration fee. If you register online, there's a couple bucks in the fee. So you can save a couple dollars by calling 800-992-0369. And if you have a group from your church or just neighborhood, friends, family, give us 5 names or more, and you get to come for $15 each.
We are in a countdown phase, though, right now.
That's right. You got to get your tickets in now.
So we know that January's hard. Every year I say to Bobbye, why are we doing this in January? And the reason why is because we want this to be a church outreach, too. That January, there's not a lot going on because we just came out of the holidays, and the church leaders can take a break almost by bringing their group.
This is the only event.
You to come, right.
This is the only event that we know of happening on Saturday, January 30th. So we want you to be there. So at 9 o'clock, we're going to start the day with praise and worship. We're excited to have one of the bands from Foothills Christian Church actually leading worship. Our friend Ruth Puentes will be there as well. Last year she led worship. She'll be there again this year. So we have an amazing praise and worship band coming. And we've got one of the most incredible women in San Diego, a good friend of ours and probably a friend of yours too, if you watch her every night on 10 News, ABC, Kimberly Hunt. She is just an incredible person inside and out, and she's going to be talking about hope and what it's meant in her life personally. And we know Kimberly, and we know that it's just going to be incredibly powerful and special. So Kimberly's going to be speaking in the morning, and as you mentioned, Bill Griffith, 29 years on the morning news front desk, top right there for 29 years, and he's going to be sharing something that happened to him that is very rare.
A few years ago, he was diagnosed with breast cancer. Yes,
male breast cancer.
Was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yes, yes.
And it is very rare for men to be diagnosed and actually to find it, to be treated, because you don't expect to get it.
Men don't go in for mammograms.
That's right. That's
so
right.
He's going to share his story of how God got him through this really painful time in his life, and how his wife, she's going to be there with him and sharing about how she was his caregiver and why that's so important. Just that hope.
But he is very clear about sharing how Jesus Christ was his anchor, his
He had hope to make it through. We also have a panel that Tony Lee has assembled together of amazing women who I say are amazing because, like all of us, we need that encouragement to keep going through the trials. And so share who's going to be on the panel.
The reason why we wanted a panel is because what we see typically in our Media for Women business is that we don't want to keep going. If we don't see instant results, we think that we're a failure or we think it's not working. And I wanted a panel of women who have endured so many trials and have very clear times in their lives that they knew they wanted to quit doing what they're doing. But after now 30 years of doing it, or even 20 years of continuing to pursue that thing they believed God put on their heart, how they got through and didn't quit. So one of the gals, her name is Donna Scott. She was actually a guest on our show. She is a marriage and family therapist, and she knew that even from teenage years, she was counseling people all the time. But when it came to actually getting her license and getting educated to do counseling, she looked at her husband and she said, I'm going to quit. And so I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story, but now she's been in this.
Well, we've heard her on our show,
right?
And she's
actually shared it on our show,
have come to see her. Donna Scott, Leslie Martin, who actually spoke last year,
and she's a Calvary Chapel pastor's wife from Phoenix. And it's a mega church, and she's going to be very real about why they didn't quit. And her family turned against her. They left a cult to actually become pastors. Her family turned against her. Her husband started dealing with depression. I mean, a lot of different issues happened in their lives. She's going to be there.
Right.
Her daughter, who's 25, she's coming too, because she has a horrible story that happened literally in the church. And yet she is still on the worship team, and she's dedicating her life to counseling people who have been, quote, abused in the church.
I have to stop you because it's like every person we mention has been through a horrible, traumatic situation.
Well, that's because life is filled with that, but you keep going. God is not done with you just because
I want to hear all this.
Right, but that's why we're just having a panel of it. So you have Kimberly Hunt, who's going to say a positive story, and Bill Griffith, who has a positive ending. But these are people who continue to endure.
Well, it's us. I mean, the truth is, the panel is made up of women just like you and me and all of us who are out there every day on the front line.
Colleen Monroe.
Colleen Monroe, she and her husband own Good News, etc., the only remaining printed Christian newspaper in San Diego, if not one of the few in the country.
And Professor Rebecca Laird.
Professor Rebecca Laird, who you have studied under at Point Loma. And last but not least, our MC, Dana Dimitri, is also going to be on the panel. And Dana is a longtime friend of ours and very well known, not just here in San Diego, but across the country as a speaker, teacher, motivator. She's extremely healthy. She's into the benefits of great health and wellness. She's going to be there. Also, she's going to be with us all day.
She's our MC.
Doing, kind of keeping us on track all day and sharing from the stage. You're going to love. We're all going to love spending the day with Dana. Just amazing women that we've got. Amanda Hall is going to actually share a little bit as well. She's got an incredible book out right now.
From Broken to Beautiful, yes.
Her book, From Broken to Beautiful.
And then the Jones Sisters.
I was saving that one, yes. The Jones Sisters are simply amazing. If you Google the Jones Sisters and you look them up online, they are really famous. They have been singing together for years, and they come from a famous family background of singers. And they are singing.
They're 5 sisters, obviously, yeah. Jones Sisters, and they're real sisters.
Yeah, they're real sisters, and they are going to
They write their own music, they sing a cappella, and it's awesome.
It's like gospel soul.
Soul, yes,
gospel
we love it.
Soul.
Yes.
And they don't even need instruments. They're so incredible. So they're going to be there to do a very special performance at the event. And of course, Tony Lee and I will be teaching in the morning and wrapping up in the afternoon from the Word of God on the message of hope. In all the years that we've done this, this is the most jam-packed day we've ever put together. It is crazy with just speakers and teachers and worship. Well,
even the sponsors have a lot of energy, real positive people that, you know, you want to have resources, good resources in your life who know the Lord, and that's what's filling even the foyer of Brown Chapel at Point Loma. So again, the date is Saturday, January 30th in Brown Chapel at Point Loma Nazarene University. Tickets are $25. If you bring 5 or more, they're $15. You can call 800-992-0369 or go to dailydisciples.org. Our phone number's on the website too.
But you can buy the tickets. Get it going, girls, okay? Like, this is coming.
I know, we're only 2 weeks away. So pray about who to bring.
It is time to get your tickets.
Yes.
Like, this is a sense of urgency now because we tend to kind of wake up.
We don't want to run out of lunches. We need to know how many volunteers.
Come on.
Yes.
We got to get this thing going. We got to crank it up because this is like, we tend to be a last-minute town and everybody shows up and we're going, oh, we're going to get pizza.
And then you have traffic jam, right. You don't want to get a traffic jam at the day of the
So
event.
Come on, get pre-registered. You know, it's a day that you want to look forward to and really pray about who God is putting on your heart. And if you're in a church, if you want flyers or postcards or sign-up forms, let us know. We will provide you with whatever you need. Call Heather at 800-992-0369. We want to thank our partner and friend right here at K-Praise, 1210 a.m. You can always call the station if you have any questions. Our friend David Spoon, the David Spoon Experience, we're going to be on his show talking about the event. Free tickets also for listening to the show. As a matter of fact, right now I'm going to give away a pair of tickets just for listening right now. 800-992-0369. You got to call in the next 30 seconds, okay?
Okay.
2 tickets to the next caller. The Power of Hope. We're going to start at 9, go till 4. This is all day. We're going to feed you lunch, okay? You're going to have hot coffee for breakfast and some snacks. We got to have sugar in the morning. And then for lunch, Subway is providing a sandwich, and we've got chips and a cookie and water bottles and fruit.
It'll get you through the day.
It's going to get you through the day.
Okay.
And the power of God's Spirit there.
So the verse we're going to use for the conference is Jeremiah 29:11, and we're actually going to be teaching from that chapter, which says, God has given you a future and a hope. And we're going to talk about what that means. But right now on the air, I want to talk about this verse coming to my mind from Proverbs 13:12. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. So Bobbye, what do you think? What does that mean to you?
Well, hope deferred makes the heart sick. Does that mean that if you don't have any hope, you get sick?
Yeah.
It makes
and
your heart
depressed
sick.
and miserable, right?
So
it's that grieving.
Deferred means you put it off, or it's put away, or like if you defer something, it's pushed aside. It's pushed, and so to make the heart sick means that you're sad, you're discouraged, you're
depressed.
It's a depression. It's a real sickness. And so, again, that verse is Proverbs 13:12.
Yeah.
And we have met people before that have quoted that verse to us whenever they sense God beginning to do something in their life. That there's a time whenever we feel that way, but there's also a time whenever we need to not defer hope.
And then longing fulfilled is the tree of life. And whenever I think of the tree of life, I do think of Jesus, obviously.
Longing being fulfilled.
Yeah, because he died on the tree that brought us life.
Right.
And in the book of Revelation, in heaven, there are trees that are lined up that bear all the fruit by the river. And it represents life. Because wherever the Lord is, there is life and light and liberty, and that brings hope. And it's interesting, we've said before that hope is not a fruit of the Spirit. Hope is not a gift of the Spirit. Hope is a spiritual entity or a person, and it's Jesus Christ. He is our hope.
It's kind of like wisdom.
It is.
In the beginning was wisdom.
But wisdom is a gift.
And
we can pray for wisdom, but we have to, and to me, Bobbye, the only way I can get hope, because I have been hopeless before. I've had that deferred hope and the only way you can get hope, to me anyway, is by really being in the presence of the Lord, by seeking Him. When He says, ask, seek, and knock, getting on my knees and opening the Word of God and asking the Lord to speak to me or giving me a verse. My daughter, she's in college in Chicago, and she is so confused about what to major in. I mean, is she just not all over the map?
Every day, I think.
Every day. And she blames it on me. Well, Mom, you keep changing your mind. I have not changed my mind of what I want her to major in.
It's not your major.
It's not my major, exactly. So she was saying how just yesterday she called me and she goes, okay, I really believe the Lord spoke to me. And that's my language. I use that language. And I thought, wow. She goes, do you want to know? And I said, yes. And it gave her hope. And I said, you know what, Ellie, even if it changes, this is the path that the Lord is telling you right now to go down. Right. So you pick the classes according to what you're hearing today. And then if you have questions in the future, you go back to the Lord. You keep asking the Lord. And I said, be sure you write down those 3 points. She wants to help children, not to worry about the money involved and how much you're going to make or if you're going to get a job. I mean, the Lord clearly told her 3 things. And but we have to know that even when the Lord tells us something today, it doesn't mean that it's set in stone. It means that that's the path we go down. He is a light to our path, right? A lamp unto our feet. So he gives us a lighted path as we take each step. But it doesn't mean that he shows us the finish line. It means we are just faithful to be on that path. If he directs and changes our course, we have the ears to hear. I do think that verse even in Isaiah 30 that says, when you hear a voice behind you telling you which way to go, sometimes God's voice comes from behind us because we're so used to running ahead, taking those promises and running ahead, that are we still sensitive to hearing the Lord yell from behind, hey, you're a little bit too far.
And right now he's saying, hey, you got to come to the power of hope. Okay, ladies, the power of hope. I'm going to keep bringing us back to this fact that because we know we have a marketing company, and I can tell you, you need to hear this about 99 times to remember this event is Saturday, January 30th. It breaks our heart whenever someone says, oh, I meant to come, I forgot.
Or I just missed it.
Or
I forgot it was last weekend, yeah.
No one told me. So it's really important for us to tell you because you need to be at this event. It is Saturday, January 30th at Point Loma, Nazarene University, right down there by the airport. Can't miss it. If you look it up on Google Maps, 3900 Loma Land Drive. You can get all the details at dailydisciples.org. There's a big banner right there on the homepage. It says Power of Hope, okay? Tickets are only $25. I mean, $25 includes everything. Lunch, coffee and some snacks in the morning. Free parking. 9 to 4. We have a day unlike any other. Special guest Kimberly Hunt from 10 News, ABC. Bill Griffith from 10 News,
ABC.
Amazing story, him and his wife. Dan Dimitri, our special guest MC. Professor Rebecca Laird, PhD from Point Loma, from Women's Ministry and Theology. Leslie Martin, Calvary Chapel pastor's wife from Phoenix, and her daughter are coming out. We have Colleen Monroe.
From the Good News,
from Good News, etc.
Yes.
We have the Jones sisters. We have
Donna Scott,
Donna
MFT,
Scott,
yes.
Amanda Hall.
And Donna Scott lost how many? 127 pounds?
Yes.
In the last
amazing
8 months
stories.
or something? Yeah.
And also, praise and worship is so important to us. We're excited to have the Foothills Christian Church, their praise and worship band coming to really lead us into a place of worship with our friend Ruth Puentes leading worship. Her full-time job is with Thrivent. We want to thank Thrivent Financial as our title sponsor. Yeah. Our friends here at K-Praise 1210 AM for being so supportive of all these years of really helping us put on this event. And then so many people are going to be there. If it's not too late, if you are a business, an organization, a nonprofit, you have something that you think 1,000 women would like to learn about, we have some tables. We have a few spots left that you can reserve a spot in the lobby as a sponsor. And if you call today, we can get you set up. So call 800-992-0369. And Heather will let you know what's available. We have full tables and half tables, I think, available. There's a few left.
And I want to say again about the Life in the Spirit study.
Okay, before you do, just last but not least, get your tickets now, 800-992-0369 or dailydisciples.org. And don't wait, pre-register. If you bring 5 or more, you can get them for $15. That's $10 off the regular price.
And we're having a Bible study, Life in the Spirit, in La Costa on Wednesday nights. If you'd like to attend and need information, go to dailydisciples.org, or again, you can call, same number, 800-992-0369.
So this is Bobbye Tonilee Unplugged, right here at K-Praise 1210 AM. We'll be back, same time, same station. And don't miss out on the power of hope. Let me just say it one more time. the Power of Hope Women's Event, Saturday, January 30th, okay? Tickets on sale now for $25. And I feel in my heart that God is touching your heart. If you're hearing this message, you know someone.
You need to go.
Who needs to come. Mm-hmm. You know someone who needs to come. Because we all know somebody who we're praying for to come to know the Lord. Mm-hmm. And that's what this is all about. So go to daledisciples.org or call 800-992-0369 and gift that person the gift of eternal life.
That's
you
right.
never know.
Yes.
God bless you all. Until next time, this is Bobbye Tonilee signing off. God bless. Have a great day, and we will see you soon.
Thanks for tuning into Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. Tune in every day on air and online for more real life, real answers from Bobbye and Tonilee. Subscribe to the Bobbye and Tonilee channel, and for more information, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com.
Hi, I'm Bobbye Brooks.
And I'm Tonilee Adamson.
And we're the co-founders of Media for Women Enterprises. And we've been helping business owners and entrepreneurs for the last 7 years grow and start their own businesses.
Yes, we know how challenging it is for small business owners to break out and attract new customers.
Because you need a new website, new video, increased social media, and a real strategic plan.
Our new Business in a Box is your one-stop shop. Call now, 800-992-0369 for your free consultation.